got room. Tell us when.
1, 2, 3.
And you're certainly welcome to make a speech if you'd like.
I don't even hardly recognize you. He's grown up. Hey, Janelle.
Oh, what a time. My blessing.
Good to see you. I just want to tell y'all, when I started this, it was like every day was a new adventure because you never knew what you were going to come into. And back when I first started, we had 1 RN and 3 LPNs to work, you know, the whole unit there at Crosby. And people think back, it was a little Band-Aid station, but we were busy. And we didn't have certified LPNs, so the RN hit the ground running from the time she got there to the time she finally went home. And I loved it. And if physically I could still get up and run the halls, I would still be loving it. But I have learned that when you get to a certain point where you can't get up and move them halls like you want to, it's time to quit. It's time to take that retirement. And I appreciate this. This is awesome. Thank you so much. And I love y'all.
We love you. Is there anybody gonna be left? Except city employees? Oh. All right, tonight under mayor updates, there are none. City manager report.
Very briefly, I'd like for Mr. Morris to come up and give us a survey advisory update on the East Highway 43 North paving project, along with some past annexation stuff that you'd like to update the council on, if you would, sir.
Be happy to. Thank you for the opportunity. So, as Mr. Miller stated, there's 2 letters involved. Each of you have these 2 letters in front of you. I will start with the one that up at the top it says third and final attempt. Okay, the third and final attempt letter is the letter that's been sent to everyone that was affected by the 2011 annexation by the city of Picayune, mainly in the southern region of Picayune, Frierson Road and behind Stafford Road, back in those areas. And what this is polling those residents that do not currently have water, gas, and wastewater infrastructure at their properties. And it was an attempt that the city wanted us to do on their behalf to see how many of those individuals desired to have city services in those areas. So this says the third and final attempt. The third and final letter went out on the 15th of May, and we're requesting a deadline of May 29th to have those responses in. Now, at this point, there has been 67 properties identified that qualify for this, and to date, we've gotten basically half of that in responses. And that 50% response at this point, the majority is desiring those utilities. So this being the third and final attempt, we feel like because of the conversation with the city too, felt like after we do 3 reach outs, you've done your part to try to get input from those candidates in those areas. And so we hope to have a majority of those, not just 50%, represented by May 29th. The only other thing that I will bring to your attention is we've given them every opportunity and convenient way to respond. They can fill it out and mail it in. They can go to the website. They can call the Public Works Department and request someone to pick the letter up from them. Or they can simply scan the QR code that's on the letter, and all of your QR codes will work, because I practiced with it before I put those on in front of you. And it'll bring up the site to where you can respond, and you can't get much easier than that. So that's the update on the annexation outreach. Are there any questions on that one before I move on?
Yeah, I have a question. So all or nothing? So
All or nothing?
yes, meaning the majority want it, then everybody gets it? Or is it gonna
Well,
be you
if the
can opt
majority
in?
wants it, then the city is going to take into consideration how.
I guess my question
and
is,
when.
can some opt out and some opt in?
Yes.
Yes.
However, I would tend to say that it's probably gonna be very similar to the Ridge Road project, whereas the infrastructure gets put in place and it will be made available to all,
Okay,
but, yeah,
so they can opt in, okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
But at the time of the install, if it occurs, now, the city still
Right.
has to determine, is it feasibly, economically responsible to do it at this time? Can you afford to do it? All those things still have to be decided. But at the time of the project, again, similar to Ridge Road, if they don't take advantage of it at that time, then it's gonna come out of their finances to get hooked to it at a later date.
Okay. So are you talking about Ridgecrest? The neighbor?
Ridgecrest, what'd I
Okay.
say, Ridge Road?
Yeah,
My apologies.
all right.
About the
Okay.
same thing.
I got the Ridge
Same
part
place.
right.
Thank you.
Okay. So the second letter is the construction advisory letter for the sidewalk project on Highway 43 North. And this was the city desiring to do everything in their power to reach out to those that will be affected by the sidewalk installation on Highway 43 North to make sure, number one, they knew there was gonna be a project. Number two, to make sure they understood where the project would occur and what the impact would be on their driveway, their yard, their conveniences. So the letter that you have in front of you tonight is worded just like the first one. And it was our second outreach to those individuals on 43 North. And it was sent out on May 15th. And we will be sending another out, and we're trying to schedule it about 30 days before construction would begin. This letter too, I think does a good job of defining the project and the scope and all the aspects of the potential inconveniences. And it too gives them a QR code to scan that, but in this particular case, it's to let us know that they received the letter. And when they do scan that QR code, they can put in their address, and it'll give us feedback that they did receive the letter. Now, we have no reason to believe that the previous letter that was sent out didn't reach, because we've had some feedback from those who said they received it. But this second outreach, I wanted some type of electronic confirmation, and this is how we chose to handle that. Any questions on this?
Has people responded?
To my knowledge, no one has. Chris, have you gotten any responses, or Lisa? Okay.
I mean, do we feel pretty confident that the people affected, I guess, are aware?
Well,
And they're just,
this will be the second time we've sent a letter to all the businesses and all the residences on the path of the construction.
I know y'all have talked to some of the businesses and they're aware, and I know
We've
that
talked
some
to
of
some of the
the
residents as well.
yeah, I know some of the ones that y'all are
Yeah.
gonna have to really
Now,
redo the driveway.
you
y'all
know,
talked
in
to.
the end, let's say in conjunction, this is just a suggestion, But let's say if we don't have a really good feeling that the letters are being received or they're paying attention to the letters, you know, it's not that many of them that if you wanted to canvass it and go door to door, you could do that.
Okay.
But it's completely up to you guys how you want to handle that. But we
So-
will be sending another advisory after this one.
I was under the impression that there were only two that were actually going, two houses that were actually going to be affected.
No, ma'am, pretty much everybody on the path is going to be affected.
I'm talking
on that.
about the driveways.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me
Yes, ma'am.
point
All-
that out. The
Most of the driveways are going to be affected. I think there's only a couple of them that's already ADA compliant. The two that you're referring to are two homes that we've got to go further, and
Okay.
we got to go outside of MDOT's right-of-way to put their driveway back in a condition where they can use it.
But I thought you had talked to them personally?
We
And
have.
they were okay?
We have, and we already have right-of-entry permits signed by them.
Right,
Yes, ma'am.
okay.
Any other questions? Okay,
I do have a question.
okay.
I'm turning the sheet over and I see where there's a place for them to check if they want city water.
Mhm.
I see there's a place if they want, you know,
No,
I'm sorry.
that's on that.
I know, but I'm backing
Oh,
up.
I'm sorry.
And I see where you can have sewer,
Mhm.
and I see where you can have gas service. They were all 50%, or was one, let's say, I want to be sure that I understand it right.
Well, if you're looking at the circles,
Right,
are you looking at the circles?
I can.
Okay, so what you're seeing on the back of that first page
Mm-hmm,
is what they have the option of choosing, whether they scan the QR code or they decide to do it manually and then mail theirs in. Those are their options to choose from and give their feedback on. So the 50% that you're referring to can be seen on the next page.
right,
That's got the circles, and the red is representing the people who do not want those services, and the blue is representing the 50% that has responded what they want. So at this point, we've only had about a 50% response on the city utility services to the annexed areas, but of that 50%, the majority want it.
okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Did you have anything else, Mr. City Manager?
No, sir, not at this time.
Okay. Next on the agenda is the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Councilwoman Stevens. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilman Hickman. Discussion. Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Let's see. New business. Finance Administration.
Number one, consider request to approve budget amendments and publication of resolution. Action requested, approve request as submitted, and authorize mayor and city clerk to sign all related documents.
Okay, may I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Breland. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilwoman Bumpers. Discussion.
For the record, it's on the green sheets that you have. And a quick explanation, if you want me to, real quick. Two of the things were where we had some purchases that occurred that were budgeted in the previous budget year, and they had not been delivered or performed coming into this one. And we had something happen with the software, and it did not bring them forward. Usually it brings them forward and shows it in the additional budget, and it did not. So we're having to go back and add that to the budget because it didn't pull it forward. And the other is some police forfeiture funds that they have received, and now we have to budget in order for them to spend it. And that's the gist of it.
Okay, and thank you for that. Is there anybody need to comment or ask any questions? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Motion passes. Next item.
Number 2, consider request to open bank account with Hancock Whitney Bank named Travel and Small Procurement and authorize transfer of $15,000 to operate said account. Action requested, approve request as submitted, and authorize mayor and city clerk to sign hold harmless agreement related to this said account.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Breland. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilwoman Stevens. Discussion?
Yes, see, could you elaborate on that briefly, please?
Yes, sir. We used to have a credit card that we had when we traveled and things like that and for small purchases, and that we don't have that one anymore, and so we run into some problems on small procurement and things like that. So we've gone through the state and got authorization to get a separate card, and it will actually operate more like a debit card than a credit card. That way they can book our travel and they can do other things or make small procurement with it. And but the purpose of the $15,000 is I did not want to tie it to any of our major accounts in case something were to happen. I said we're setting up a separate account where even if it gets it, we have a stopgap that it won't go over there, so it'll operate more like a debit account, and it'll be replenished as the transfers are made.
So basically, if there's any charges that would be taken care of normally, like maybe monthly?
Sometimes there are small purchases that they make with them, like on some of the online things. Most things go through our PO system. However, with these, sometimes they have to do things, on short notice. But mainly what ours will be used for is for travel, to book our travel and hotels and things like that. But again, like I said, rather than tie it to one of our major accounts, we did the $15,000. That way, if something happens and it's there's nothing catastrophic about it. There's a stopgap there, but it shouldn't happen. But just in case,
Thank you.
Well, when you say travel, you mean
booking our hotel rooms, things like that.
all employees?
Yes,
or-
in the city included, the entire city.
Okay, any other questions?
Yeah, like, what happens if we spend that 15, then where were the,
We'll be replenishing it each month.
okay,
It really, we use that amount. We shouldn't get to that amount because
right,
usually a lot of times with hotel rooms, we're getting a travel advance before, but we're booking them months out and we have to reserve the rooms and things like that. So
Just
most of
making
it'll be replenished every month when we pay the docket. Whatever, if
Okay.
it was a small purchase from, Public Works, it would come out of their budget and it'd transfer and replenish it.
Any other questions? All in favor, aye.
aye,
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next item.
Number 3, request authorization to apply for the U.S. Department of Transportation's fiscal year 2026 Safe Streets for All grant and sign resolution committing to matching 20% of the grant funds for said grant. Action requested, approve request as submitted, and authorize mayor and city clerk to sign all related documents.
Okay, may I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Councilwoman Stevens. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilwoman Turnage. Discussion? Any discussion?
Is this for the frontage road?
It would be used for the frontage road, yes, ultimately, but it'd be used for others. Like I said, this is a 4 rounds. There are 4 steps in this type of grant. The first one is more of a planning, and they come in and this grant will be used to do planning and see where we have, needs for safe streets and things like that. For instance, our frontage road entrance down at Walmart. That's just an example of where we
But
have.
this is gonna be technically citywide?
Technically it will, yeah. They have to study the whole thing, but that you do the study, and then the next round is they identify where you have major problems. And part of the grant application shows where we've had deaths across the whole parts of the city. It evaluates that.
Any other comments? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item 4.
Number 4, presentation discussion regarding open governance potential implementation use within City of Picayune action requested. I have OpenGov, and some of you know we've had some problems with our financial software over the years, and Stephanie and Lisa and different ones, other department heads have been working to try to do some things to, they found, and we've spoken a lot with OpenGov, and it looks like a software company we would like to go to, and I just got them to come to answer any questions and give you all a quick, we're not voting on anything tonight, it's just kind of giving you a quick, presentation, and so that you know what you got, and I have all the information as far as like ultimately what it would cost and things like that in your packet so that you can do your due diligence. I just didn't want y'all to vote on anything that y'all haven't seen and had a chance to digest. And I'd like to introduce James and Nicole with OpenGov.
Glad to have you tonight with us. You have the floor.
Good evening. Thank you, Mayor Luke and Council, for having us here. Let me just go ahead and connect this HDMI over. All right, this should be working here. Looks like I may be off the source here. Thank you. Sorry about that, guys.
That's okay.
All right, perfect. All right, here we are. Thank you guys again for having us join today's council meeting here. My name is Nicole Somas. I'm an account executive here at OpenGov, and I've been partnering closely with both Sid and Stephanie as they've been working to modernize your current financial system that you have in place. I wanted to go ahead and share today a little bit more about OpenGov and what we've been talking to the team about here. If you guys have any questions along the way, let us know. We're happy to answer them. All right, so you guys should have all of this there in front of you. Starting off with just a brief overview of OpenGov. We were really a public service platform. We only work with government, local and state government here. So really we are a purpose-built platform, that works the way that governments work. We're built for high-performance government, and we're really on a mission here to power more effective and accountable government. And we all started this in 2012 when our founders realized that there's a little bit of like a 30-year-old software that governments are running on right now. And we started building out these best-in-class solutions that all came together to really create the public service platform here in 2026. And right now, we have 1 in 3 Americans already benefiting from the system here. And when we look at the financial management platform, our ERP, financial management is really at the core, and that's what we're talking about today with Sid and Stephanie, bringing on that financial management piece to start with. And then later on, we're talking about bringing on potentially grants management, human capital management, utility billing. And what we've noticed with that is that it really gives you an all-inclusive view of your data and allows you guys to make more strategic decisions along the way. So why are we actually talking about this today, though, from Picayune standpoint? It's really to build more cross-departmental synergy here and establish a seamless two-way communication channel. And what we really want to do is eliminate some of these communication silos that have been, you guys are doing your budgets right now on paper today that are causing some delays and gaps there. Also optimizing your resources and load management within the team. There's a lot of hats that are being worn, I know with Lisa and with Stephanie there as well. As well as build a true partnership as well. We don't just build our software in a silo either. What we do is we partner with you guys to help build something that is really meaningful and impactful for you. And also a very responsive support team. Most of our support team has worked previously in government and were previously in the shoes that you guys are in today. And you guys have all of these in your packet here. I want to go ahead and pause and let you guys have time to ask any questions here. we partnered with Sid and Stephanie to pull some data for the team. Any questions here? And whenever we talk about the implementation support, we understand that with your current system, AccuFund, you guys have been having some delays. You've been trying to get some reporting and different team members out on site for approximately 3 years now. So what we offer with our support is, again, a support team that has previous government experience. I believe collectively across the company, we have over 500 plus years of government experience. And this is going to be who's helping you actually implement and answer your questions along the way within our partnership. And here are a few different support resources that you'll have throughout your entire partnership with OpenGov potentially. Are there any questions here or anything that I can elaborate on, Sid?
Like I said, maybe we just want to have y'all an opportunity to see some of this and digest it and get you the information before we move forward with making any decisions on it.
So basically, all of the financial stuff will be
Migrated.
funneled into this program.
As we, as it's, if we go with this, if y'all choose to go with this, that will become our new software. They'll start building it, tailoring it to us, and then we will roll over everything from AccuFund. Obviously, we'll have to keep AccuFund for, a couple of years, because until we pass those audits, I won't absolutely know, because some things don't, migrate sometimes, depending on where you bring them from. And, but that way, we can pass that, that ultimately they'll be our provider, and they have good customer service and things like that when we need things, and, and so, and they have a really, state-of-the-art product, so that's all we're looking for.
Can you, I asked this question earlier, can
Yep.
you list who you already work with in the Mississippi?
Yeah, so 2 of their current customers within Mississippi are Tupelo, as well as Starkville, that we work with specifically around permitting and licensing, as well as asset management.
Y'all work with City of Jackson, County of Jackson, you said one of the state agencies?
Department of Health, Hilldale Water District.
Yeah.
To let the council know too, we've had many discussions about service, everything having to come fly somebody down here out of West Virginia, if you can get them here. So it's been many problems. I won't get into all of it, but just have to trust that we're looking at a better opportunity for us. The carrier now, the service is just not good, to be honest with you. Not trying to hurt anybody, but a lot of research has went into what y'all do, and we feel very comfortable. Our employees, our department heads feels very comfortable, and we think that y'all will make us better. And we certainly believe we'll get better service.
Yes, sir.
Who, when you say department heads, just curious, who were all in the presentations that have reviewed?
They've done multiple Zoom meetings. Which all I know,
Yeah.
Job, Fire, Public Works, Grant, okay,
Yeah, finance, obviously.
Finance, obviously,
Yeah.
okay.
And again, we're only looking at financial management and budget performance.
they have to build that before we can add anything to it.
Okay.
Right now, that's what we're going on, but eventually, hopefully, eventually we'd like to migrate to get them all on, and we'll have a lot. And one thing I will say, once they have our system built, and we can do the add-ons to move our other parts into it, like our next move would be to move payroll and HR. Once we have it all in there, we won't have need for other softwares that we have. Again, they'll migrate over. And when you talk to some of the employees that have seen the demonstrations, I think you're gonna have a lot of man-hours saved, because their software and things a lot more advanced. It won't require as much, to do the input. It'll free up a lot of man-hours for our employees.
For instance, here, it's currently taking 3 days to run payroll. And that's something that can be very automated in the system. Yeah.
What's the, I guess the implementation date?
Yeah.
Like,
If
what's the goal, I guess?
we would sign with the next month, and then
Yeah, so we're looking to start on June 3rd implementation, and it typically takes about 6 to 9 months. We were hoping to get in by October. We're going to try to reach that goal. It may go a little after October.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is that, the whole AccuFund stuff, that switching over and stuff, we're not any like long-term contract with them, are we?
We go annually. The biggest
Okay.
issue will be with them is getting the data over from
Yeah.
them to them, and maybe sometimes, I mean, it is what it is.
Sometimes it's hit or miss.
That's why I hate it, but, because we have to deal with auditors, and the audit from, you know, a couple of the fiscal years or a couple years behind where the audit is. I mean, so, I just have to double up.
Yeah.
Just out of, you know.
I understand.
It's not their fault, it's just, you know, but the end goal at the end is, you know, that would happen no matter who you went to.
Yep.
And so that's just fair on time.
That's why it says a big deal to switch.
Yeah, definitely, yeah, you don't want to switch very often. I think they've had this other one since about 2009 or 10, and, you know, I just think we'll have a lot better service. And again, like I said, there's all these other pluses that, it's gonna save man hours for the different departments on what they have to do to get the data in and to work with.
And it's direct to y'all. It's not when the help center or tech support, there's not like a distribution. It's y'all, correct?
It's us.
Okay.
All right, I have one more question. All right, our current computer systems, I know sometimes when you get new software, you have to update computers and update, we're good there?
We've had everybody, we brought Stuart, and we've all.
Okay.
They've been
Yeah.
working between Stephanie and Lisa and Shay and the other departments. They've been meeting with them, and we.
Okay.
Met with Stuart to make sure that we have the hardware and everything that we need to accommodate. And
Okay.
we looked under all those, turned over all those stones. getting ready
Thank you.
to Do our due diligence.
Well, that would
Good.
cost money too if we needed, I'm just,
We're okay.
okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank y'all.
Thank you for your
Thank
time.
y'all.
We have code enforcement.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Consider request to hold a public hearing on property cleanup at the following properties.
Okay. Can we get a motion to open a public hearing?
I'll motion.
Motion by Councilman Hickman. May I have a second?
I'll second.
And
There.
Okay.
Which one?
Councilwoman
I'll
Turnage
do it.
seconds the motion, and, proceed on. Okay. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Just making sure you were paying attention there.
Threw him off a little bit.
All right. All right, here we go. Item A, PIN number 026179 with the address of 1202 Roosevelt Street.
Okay.
I don't know if there's anyone here for Roosevelt Street. Apparently not. Okay, so this is a property, as you see in the paperwork I put in front of you, this is a property that's been going on for a long time. We've tried several times to be gracious and give them, to help them try to rehabilitate this house, to no avail, so I'm asking the city council if it be their wishes to declare this property a public nuisance so we can move forward with cleaning this property up.
Okay.
Is someone living in this house or is it vacant?
It's vacant.
Okay.
All right. Can we get a motion to declare this property?
So moved.
Motion by Councilwoman Turnage. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilman Hickman. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Motion passes. Next item.
All right, property number 2 is PIN number 022596 with the address of 112 Westchester Drive.
Okay.
And we have,
You have the floor. Okay,
So this property, I sent, let me find my list, I'm sorry. This property was cited on February 25th of 2026 for having a structure that is not structurally sound. I sent a letter, the letter was sent out on February 25th. The violations that I cited were from our International Property Maintenance Codes violations. Exterior of the structure shall be maintained in good repair, structurally sound, and sanitary so as not to pose a threat to public health, safety, or welfare. And also IPMC 304.6, exterior walls shall be free from holes, breaks, and loose or rotting material, and maintained weatherproof and properly surface coated and coated where required to prevent decay. As you can see in the photographs, there's numerous spots on the property where there are exposed sheeting. One of the pictures, it's hard to see in the size that I gave you, but you can see where the soffitting on the side of the house is failing, and there's numerous places of that the wood is showing rot and decay. And so we would like to try to get that cleared up and resolved.
That was weather damage. It has been that way since, I did not receive a notice in February, but I did get the paper that was stapled to my house. Since then, though, I have received estimates, I paid a deposit, and a contractor has been working on the property. So that is factual.
so how much time do you need to correct?
If I can have 30 days, it'll be finished.
I'm fine with
Okay.
that.
If you're fine with that, is that your recommendation to
That
the
is my
council?
recommendation. If the council so pleases, we can give her a 30-day extension to coordinate with our offices, and if possible afterward, I'd like to meet with you and make sure I got a better address to make contact with you, because I mailed everything to the address of record. But if that's fine with the council, then a 30-day extension would be sufficient for me.
Okay, so,
I'll make a motion to extend, give her a
Thank you.
30-day.
and do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilman Hickman, and the first was by Councilwoman Turnage. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Motion passes. You have 30 days, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Property number 3 is PIN number 026441 with an address of 104 North Gray Avenue. This is a property that earlier in 25, this property was given a 90-day extension for Mr. Eisler to clean it after it had caught fire. To date, Mr. Eisler has done no work to the property, and so I am asking the council to now declare this property a public nuisance so that we can move forward with cleaning this property up.
Okay, may I have a motion to declare this property?
I'll second.
Motion by Councilwoman Stevens, seconded by Councilwoman Turnage, and discussion.
I'm gonna assume this house is vacant as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Any further discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next item.
Finally, we have item D, which is PIN number 026667 with an address of 301 South Curran Avenue. This property was cited April the 1st of this year, 2026. It was cited for an overgrown lot and structure that is unfit for human occupancy. Owner was originally given till April 8th to correct violations or at least make contact with us on how they would proceed with the home. To date, I've had no contact with the owners of this property, and I don't think anyone's here for that property.
Nobody's here with 301 South Curran Avenue. Can I get a motion to declare this property?
So moved.
Motion by Councilwoman Stevens. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilwoman Turnage. Any further discussion?
Vacant.
Also vacant.
Thank you.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Motion to close the public hearing.
I make the motion to close.
Motion by Councilwoman Turner to close the public hearing. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Councilwoman Stevens seconds the motion. No further discussion. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, sir. All right, city engineer.
Request authorization to accept the donation of a 25-foot flagpole, 4-foot by 6-foot American flag, and 7 60-pound bags of concrete for the proposed Veterans Memorial located at the Oaks from Home Depot of Picayune. Action requested, approved request as submitted.
Okay, may I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Breland. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilman Hickman. Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Police Department?
Consider request to approve out-of-state travel for Donnie Socher to McDonough, Georgia for Gracie Survival Tactics Instructor Course on July 5th through the 10th, 2026. Action requested, approved request as submitted.
Okay, may I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Councilwoman Turner. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilman Hickman. Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, sir. Miscellaneous council members' business, and we'll start with Councilman Hickman.
I'm good.
Ms. Bumpers?
I'm good.
Oh, I have a couple things.
Okay, that's fine.
Sorry. One, we have an update on skate park. Any news going on there?
Yes, I contacted Wildlife Fisheries actually earlier this week, and they told me October is when they should decide on it's a state program, so they have a long waiting period. So October, they should make a decision and they should operate.
Okay. Second thing, the new Highway 11, the side that they are completed, I don't know, I'm questioning the mowing. Will the city pick that mowing up, or will that be, how is that gonna, or is it the owner of the property?
It depends on where exactly it's located, but it's predominantly,
Y'all are gonna,
MDOT
okay,
right away,
all right.
but we'll have to see where
Like,
that
I know
plays out.
on one side they're still working, but it has, on some of them, it's really overgrown, and then I think some of the businesses have started mowing or weed eating out there, so I just,
MDOT is technically in full control of that entire right-of-way project and everything.
Okay.
And, I've experienced a little bit of this during some flooding and pumping water. They don't want us even
okay,
doing any type of work in a right-of-way. Certainly, if there's something getting out of hand, we'll certainly do the best we can to accommodate, work through it, right? So, but they've made it pretty clear that that's their job site and that's their,
so they'll just do a rotational mowing? I'm okay.
yeah.
Cause I saw a business owner weed eating today out there, and I was just curious how that was gonna happen.
Yeah, and I'm kind of waiting to see how it plays out too when they finish the project.
Okay.
What's it look like, but we've been talking about it in my departments to try and get ahead of it and see where we land, for lack of better words. Until they're finished, I'm not gonna really know what we're gonna have left and what are they gonna dress up, what's gonna be left remaining. We're gonna have to address it as they pull out.
Okay.
Finish the project.
And one other question, I think a couple weeks ago, you were having phone issues, did those get fixed? Like rolling over, or, am I?
Yeah, so looking into that,
Mhm.
the couple of complaints that we had, they were dialing the wrong, they were
Okay.
calling PRUA and
All
they
right,
were
I'm just
calling
making sure it got fixed.
other numbers. So as far as we're concerned, right numbers are posted,
Okay.
and, we've made contact with all of those that have had the issues, and, I hand-delivered them the right numbers to call, and that's when we discovered with one lady's phone where she called and had 8 different numbers listed for Public Works, and one of them was PRUA, and one of them was.
Okay,
So we
Just
worked
making
through
sure
it,
it
we
got
have it
fixed.
resolved, yeah.
okay, that's it.
I did have one thing,
Yeah.
if you don't mind. Chief, can you give us, an update on what you know about the baby box?
So, spoke with the. So I spoke with the Safe Haven Baby Box Company themselves, and also let me back up. A couple weeks ago, the Republican Women's Club sent out their contractor to our site, over there at Central Station on South Lofton. We kind of put our heads together and figured out a spot that would meet the requirements that's put out by the Safe Haven Baby Box people themselves. And then I got a phone call yesterday, and the box should ship out this Thursday, right? This Thursday. And we'll probably receive it by the end of the week next week. So we're kind of, where our part of this is kind of the middle person, but so as soon as it came in, or as soon as it comes in, we'll get with Miss Libby and, with the Republican Women's Club, and so we should be starting construction on that within the next few weeks. So once we get it in hand, and I think there's some red tape to go through, to satisfy what the Safe Haven Baby Box Company requires, so might take a little bit, and once we get that, they said it's a 7-day testing period, so essentially we have to test the alarm system for 7 straight days. Once it completes that 7-day testing period, then we can go ahead and set like a grand opening date and everything moving forward. So,
Wonderful.
Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Any citizen concerns tonight? No citizen concerns. I think, Counselor, we're down to where I need a motion to adjourn to, what date? Okay. All right, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Councilwoman Turnage. May I get a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Stevens. Thank everyone for coming tonight.